You may have seen a video I done recently about my fresh plans where I was just sat chilling in the garden talking about what I'm going to be doing. A lot of you have asked what I'm going to play, what professions I'll be doing, what alts I'll have, how I'm going to level, will I quest or will I dungeon, or will I just use rested XP because it's the best way to level. So shameless. Links in the description though, just in case you want to get it. Well, my plans have changed massively and I'm going to talk you through the extreme lengths I've gone to in preparation for the pre-patch. And honestly, even I feel I've gone too far, but it's going to be so much fun practicing all of what we're about to talk about over the next couple of months. So firstly, I'm going Horde. I've played Alliance for the longest time. I'm going Horde and I'm going on a PvP server, so please don't camp me. Now, I'm going to show you how I'm going to level. Yes, it's not a plug, but it kind of is. For the second set of characters, I will be using rested XP, but for the first set of characters, I'm going to be dungeon leveling pretty much from 15 to 70. So I'm going to be doing dungeons as a 4-man group, aiming to get them done in a week. So a full 7 days of play, and yeah, it's going to be a push, but I want 2 sets of characters done. So got to go fast. So myself and my brother are going to be leveling together. He's going to be controlling 2 characters. I'm going to be controlling 2 characters without using multi-box software or anything like that. My setup is mint, and we're going to look at that soon. So on one account, I'm going to have a Resto/Feral. So my main is now going to be a Resto Druid. I'm going to be playing Feral a lot because I am going to be sort of a flex healer, but my main spec is going to be Resto, and I'll DPS when needs be. I'm going Herb and Inscription until I've got the Nobles deck, and I'm exalted with Sons of Hodir. Then I'll drop both and pick up Engineering and Alchemy. Alchemy for Resto for the Trinket and just the gold potential, and it's still decent enough for when I'm playing Feral. And Engineering is obviously just so good, I don't want to play without it. My second character is going to be Boomy Resto. It's going to be primarily Boomy. I will be using it as the healer while I'm leveling in dungeons from 15 to 70, and it's going to be mining and herbing. So this is going to be my gatherer, and primarily, as I said, it's going to be Boomy when I'm raiding and when I'm gearing. And remember, I'm playing on fresh servers, so this character is actually going to be the first one that I get epic flying on, not my main. Because the main is going to be my Resto Feral Druid, obviously, and the alt is going to be my Boomy Resto, which is going to be my Gatherer. Now, assuming we get our 4 characters leveled from 15 to 70 in a week, the next week, I'm not even going to worry about getting gear on any of them yet. I'm going to start my second set of characters, which are going to be leveled solely using rested XP and questing. I might do the occasional dungeon on the way up, but even that, I highly doubt. I'm probably going to get in the zone. I'm just going to literally put Netflix on the telly next to me and just sit and smash the quests out on them both and just try and enjoy it. The first character is going to be a Holy Prot Paladin, which I'm going to level as Ret, and it will be JC Blacksmithing. I would go JC Engineering, but across the 4 characters that I want to have ready during the pre-patch, ready for Wrath launch, having access to Blacksmithing is going to be useful, and I'll explain why shortly. The second character that I'm going to level with it is going to be a Shadow Priest. It's going to have Disc Off spec, and it's going tailoring and enchanting. So this spread of characters means the only thing I can't do is skinning and level working, which I'm not too bothered about, but I'll be able to make bags for alts by funneling all the cloth to my priest. When I'm herbing on the Boomy, I can use them for pots and flasks, sending them to the main druid. All the ore can either be used for engineering consumables when I need to top up, make belt buckles on the paladin when I need them, or I can just prospect them all for gems. It gives me a lot of flexibility. What I didn't mention, though, is why my main's going to be Herb and Inscription to begin with. So to begin with, it's going to start as Herb and Inscription until I've got a Nobles deck, maybe even 2. I might try and get 2 Nobles decks made and get exalted with Sons of Hodir. That's when I'm then going to drop Inscription and Herbalism for Alchemy and Engineering. Now, if I manage to get all of these done during the pre-patch and get a little bit of gear on the main druid, being the Resto Feral, I may start a DK. But honestly, depending on the length of the pre-patch, just getting these characters leveled and the professions done during the pre-patch is going to be a massive stretch goal just on its own. Gearing-wise, I'll try and run 2 of them around together, just to try and get the pre-patch event gear and even try and run 2 at the same time in heroics for badges, but we'll see how that goes. Now, this is where things are going to get a little bit weird. You'll probably notice if you watch me a lot, this looks different. The angle that I'm at looks different. Normally that's behind me. Normally you can't see the sofa or the shelves. I've fully just revamped everything. So like you can see on this beautiful camera here, this whole wall now is desk. This is obviously a monitor that's turned around that I'm going to use for Twitch chat. I'm looking at a monitor here, there's a monitor there, a monitor there, a monitor there. There's a lot, and there is overlap there, but there's reason why. So if you're looking at that and you're like, how can you see this screen here when you're looking at this one? It's intentional. I want to pull this monitor around, and then this one actually pulls out and comes behind it. So I'm fully now encased with monitors because I'll be running a second account on this one. So this will be running one account. I'll be running one account on my main monitor that's just out of view here, which actually you will be able to see if I switch to this camera. And then this is the main monitor where I'm obviously going to be playing this character. And then over on this one, just out of shot now, is going to be the one that I'll have my second character on. Now, this is where it gets complicated. So these are on 2 different PCs. And then actually, if we look down here, I'm having to duck, but the big telly there has actually got a third PC plugged into it as well. So it's a triple PC, huge, massive setup with like 5 monitors. And then I've got my Mac as well. If I become desperate, for another screen, I've got my Mac next to me as well. So you're probably like, well, yeah, what's the point? Well, it's so I can level 2 characters in a very, very specific way. So the setup that I'm going to use, I don't expect any of you to be able to have a setup like this, as in the sheer amount of space, the sheer amount of PCs that I need, and general hardware. It's not like something that you can just, go on Amazon and pay $50 or something and get, something to be able to do this with. Let me just give you an overview of what I'm going to be doing. So I thought the easiest way would be to explain top-down view. This keyboard and this mouse is obviously going to control my main character that I'm looking at on this screen here. This Stream Deck is going to be, so it's got like 32 buttons on, all keybinds, all macroable, whatever. This is going to be connected to the second PC. So I'll use this for things like accept trade, accept invite, invite my second character, Hearthstone, teleport Moonglade, all the eat food, eat drink, all the things that ordinarily you'd maybe use the mouse to go and click on or anything like that. So absolutely everything you can think about is going to be keybound for the second account on the Stream Deck. Now, I'm using the Razer Tartarus, which ordinarily I would use on my main account. I type on the keyboard, but I use the Tartarus to game on. This is going to control my second character. So I've got full movement of it with the D-pad. Obviously, it's going to be the healer. So the second character is going to be the healer. So I'm going to literally have like 2, 3, 4, 5 that you can see there. I'll try and zoom in sort of edit. But across there, I'm going to have Life Bloom, Rejuve, Regrowth, Healing Touch, for example. So that will be on self. And then I'll hold this button here and then them again. That will now cast it on the second party member. I'll hold this button and do it again. That will be on the third party member. And then I'll hold this bottom corner button here, which is 16, and press them again. And that will be on the fourth party member. So that means just with those 4 buttons, I'll literally be able to heal anybody, but I'll be playing, obviously, on the main character. I'll be playing on the main character, but be able to use this to heal. But then I'll, have Moonfire, whatever, CCs and all of that. That's not it. On the side of the mouse, obviously, you could use the actual Naga where it's got like 16 buttons or whatever, but I feel like 7's enough. I've got 3 buttons here that I use as modifiers. So I have like Shift, Alt, and Control. So they're always stay the same. But 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm just literally going to have as like my main abilities. So if I'm Cat, I'll have it as Mangle, Ferocious Bite, Fairy Fire, regularly used abilities. So that means I can actually be DPSing on the mouse, and I've got full movement of the character whilst healing on the other one, because whilst I'm DPSing, I'm probably going to tank as Feral while leveling because it'll be easier. I can just literally roll my thumb around there, just mangle, maul, and swipe spamming, whilst actually focusing on healing in the group on the Tartarus. Again, like I said, that's not it. What I've then also got is 2 sets of triple foot pedals. So like you can see down here, I've got 2 sets of these. So that's 1 set of 3. And then I've got another set of 3 on under here, what you can't see, and I can't bother to take the camera off the stand. But what these 3 are actually going to do is I'm going to have one that interacts with the target's target. So if I want to loot on the second account, or if I want to accept quests, one is going to target my main character and follow it, and the last one is going to be jump. And you're probably like, well, what's the point of jump? Why do you need one as jump? Imagine you've got your character on follow and you was in Black Fathom Deeps or something like that, and you've got that like little jumping bit at the start. I'll never need to actually touch it. This is here. So if I want to control the second account properly, all I actually need to do is just spin the chair around, and that's it. I'm in front of the other PC now. So, I could just sit here and now play, control it, move it around, do whatever I need to do. But this has all been changed for the pre-patch. My room was never like this, obviously. I took out a whole TV cabinet and everything. Literally changed this whole side of the room just so I've got full access to 2 PCs right next to each other, so I can control both but still watch it. You know, because if anything goes wrong, it goes off follow, or I don't know, if something happens, I don't know what, but it doesn't matter because literally all I do is just spin around. Oh, and when I obviously change around to then use this computer, I can switch the camera as well. So it's like I've got a camera facing each way. I've got 2 big key lights. It's all set up almost, I want to say almost perfectly. I mean, it took me the best part of 2 days, but this is all in preparation for the pre-patch because I want 4 characters during the pre-patch. Let me switch back around. I don't see how I'm going to do that without actually doing something this wild. But if you want to see some of my practice, I'm going on holiday, as some of you know. I may even already be on holiday by the time this video goes out, but I'm going to be back like in about a week or so, depending on when this goes out. So I'm going to be doing a lot of this on stream, setting it up, getting all the stream deck set up, you know, perfecting this, leveling multiple characters before the pre-patch to make sure I got everything absolutely nailed down. So if you want to come and watch over on Scottejaye87 on Twitch, obviously feel free. I may even stream some of it on YouTube. So you haven't got to follow on Twitch. You might catch me here and there doing it here on YouTube. But ultimately, before anyone starts commenting saying, it's against Blizzard TOS to do this, it's not. I'm literally playing 2 characters at the same time. It's against TOS to send keystrokes across Windows or keystrokes across PCs. I'm not doing that. I am quite literally playing both characters. I'm playing one character with my left hand and feet and one with my mouse. That sounds so sad, but it's going to be really effective. I will be able to play both characters nearly as effectively as I could play one. And that's my plans. Some wild plans. They're all my mains, you know, my mains, my ults. I suppose just a little bit of extra information because I have got it here. But what I'm actually going to do for Wrath, you know, when it gets to the 70 to 80 portion, because this is just the pre-patch I'm talking about, I'm going to level both Druids together up to 77. And then I'm going to do the final push on my main Druid and just leave the other one at 77 for the time being because it's going to have epic flying. I can at least herb and mine on it. You know, that's its main purpose. And then at some point, once my main Druid is geared and everything, then the second Druid, I'll just get to 80. The other 2 characters, so the Paladin and the Priest, I'll be prioritising the Paladin first, but I'm just going to level those every time they're fully rested. I'm like not even really going to worry. You know, every time they've got a full level of rested XP, I'll wipe a little bit off until I get to the point where it's like, well, both my Druids have got all the gear they need, you know, whatever, then I'll focus on those. So I'd say it's going to be a good 4 or 5 weeks after launch before I have more than 2 characters at 80, potentially. Really depends how much focus or how quick I manage to go, which I'm hearing by all accounts. And again, I know I don't want to keep talking about rested XP, but I do want you to understand how good it is. Apparently, people uncontested that are following it on the beta are doing 70 to 80 in 24 hours, which is actually ludicrously fast. I know it's people like Tommy Salami and that who are bloody, you know, speed levelers, but still pretty good. So anyway, I hope you liked this. Bit of a weird video showing you sort of hardware stuff and how I'm planning on playing and that, but I don't know. I thought it was quite interesting. I'm really excited to use it all, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So like and subscribe, roll the outro. There's lots of ways you can support the channel to keep me here putting out World of Warcraft content and covering all future MMOs. Consider joining the channel as a member. You get access to emotes. Everyone will know you're a member when you comment on future videos because you get a nice icon next to your name. And you get access to members-only videos, which I'll be putting a lot of on the channel throughout the year. Additionally, there's a Patreon link in the description as well. Thank you for watching all the way to the end, and I'll see you on the next one.